Hello. Right now I'm going to read you what was one of my very favorite books when I was a little girl. My sister and I used to make sure that we took it out of our school library whenever we possibly could. And so, there's our tree. Pretty. Getting ready for the snow. And it's called Mr.Willowby's Christmas Tree. And like I said, my sister and I would always make sure that we took it out so we could read it before Christmas. Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree by Robert Barry. And it's an old book from Maybrook Elementary School that they got rid of. I was so excited when I found this book because it just brought back great memories of when I was little. And the library was very much like the library that was in my school that at that time that we used to get this book. And it's got already some of the story being told right at the beginning on the end pages, huh? Cut it down. Here was the truck. And you're going to notice too, there's not much color in this book, which I find very charming. Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree came by special delivery, full and fresh and glistening green, the biggest tree he had ever seen. He dashed downstairs to open the door. This was the moment he had waited for. A magnificent tree, splendid, he cried. Please, sir, won't you carry it right inside? I think it might look best this year, right in the parlor corner here. What's a parlor? Do you know what a parlor is? But once the tree stood in place, Mr. Willowby made a terrible face. The tree touched the ceiling, then bent like a bow. Oh my good heavens, he gasped. Something must go. Wouldn't it be amazing to have a big house like that, huh? Baxter the butler was called in haste to chop off the top, though it seemed quite a waste. That's great, said Mr. Willowby, cried with glee. Now we can start to trim the tree. When the tree trimming was underway, the top was placed on a silver tray. Baxter said, I know just who would be delighted with this Christmas tree. It was presented to Miss Adelaide, Mr. Willowby's upstairs maid. Maid and a butler. I think Mr. Willowby is rich. Won't this be a pretty sight when I've trimmed it later tonight? But the top bough, dear, I'm so afraid we'll have to go out. They have to be cut, sighed Miss Adelaide. And so with scissors sharp and long, she snipped off the top while she hummed a song. The top was set out the very next day in the back of the house to be thrown away. That little treetop caught the eye of Tim the gardener passing by. He certainly was not about to see that little tree thrown out. He hurried it right home straight away to see what Mrs. Tim would say. Fa la la, surprise, surprise. His wife could not believe her eyes. But our house, she said, is so snug and small. I do not believe we will need it all. Before Tim had a chance to shout, she cut off the top and threw it out. Barnaby Bear was padding by. It almost hit him in the eye. Now who would throw a tree away so close to Christmas Day? I'll take it home. That's what I'll do. Look, Mama Bear, I have a present for you. She's so happy. It's a pretty tree, yawned Mama quite drowsily. Before we go to sleep this year, we'll have a Christmas party, dear. But little Bear, standing off far, cried out, that tree won't hold a star. Barnaby said, let's cut a hunk off the bottom, here at the trunk. But Mama Bear just shook her head and sliced the treetop off instead. Jolly by jolly, Barnaby said with a kick. Mama, that surely is just the right trick. Let's trim it with bells and honey, rings, some berries and tinsels and popcorn and things. Mama said, trim it just as you like. I've got to tidy up the night. The star won't need any more. I'll put it outside, just outside the door. Oh, they've already got it done. Look how pretty. Later on that frosty night, Frisky Fox came into sight. He spied the treetop, rubbed his chin, opened the sack, and stuffed the top in. He scampered home and jumped his gate. This Christmas present couldn't wait. It's even better than mincemeat pie, said Mrs. Fox with a happy sigh. Oops. Then the foxes saw that their Christmas prize was just a wee bit oversized. There, my dears, now don't you worry. I'll fix this chop now in a hurry. Benjamin Rabbit found it then, just outside the fox's den. It seems, he thought, most certainly Santa left that for my family. Look, he cried, see the tree I found? With that he called his family round. Then there was merrymaking, rollicking, carrot-shaking, celebration around the tree. All were happy rabbits can be, as happy as rabbits can be. Couldn't say that one. Benjamin Rabbit, with his own hand, sliced a carrot and made a stand. That's clever. Now let's see how this will look in our little chimney nook. But right away the children cried, look, it's leaning off to one side. It's all too tall, that's all, said Mrs. Rabbit. And as though it were a summer carrot, she gave it a chop and threw away the top. Then Mistletoe Mouse just happened to see the tiny tip of the Christmas tree. He pulled it through the snow and ice. Upstairs he fell down twice, and at last he reached his cozy house. It's just the right size, said Mrs. Mouse. And then at top, if you please, they put a star made of cheese. I think my daughter Jill would like that. Oh, wasn't it grand to have a tree exactly like Mr. Willowby? Why do you think my sister and I loved this story? Can you guess? So Janet, I'll have to play this for you. Hope you enjoyed the story. Bye.